Hello, everyone. Welcome to the fourth part of Fairy Journey of Heart Awakening. I wonder how you're getting on. Please drop me a comment to let me know how you're doing. Um, so this is the fourth journey, and it's called Raise Your Love Vibration. I've included a downloadable PDF for this journey, as with the other journeys, so that you can read a bit more in depth about the background for this journey, the fairy wisdom, and the exercise that's included during this pathworking. So I'm just going to tell you a bit of background about how this originated, and the full story is in the PDF in more detail. In 2019, when I was doing this series of meditations connecting with the fairies, I was talking to my then partner about these journeys, and he was interested in joining me on one of the meditations I was doing. So all of these meditations are channeled, or I've meditated quietly and received them. This particular meditation I channeled whilst I was with my then partner, who I've called Tristan in the written notes. That's not his real name, but just protecting his real identity. So Tristan and I went, I led us both into this journey together. I didn't know what was going to come. I was just channeling, which is receiving information from my higher self, from the higher realms of reality, and leading from my heart, and then speaking out what I was experiencing to lead him as well. It was a really magical experience, and if it's something that you want to do with a partner or just keep to yourself, then it's up to you. I would recommend that you complete the whole journey on your own, so that you have your embed your own experience of it, and then invite other people in. So at that time in 2019, it was the beginning of our relationship. Everything was lovely, everything was flowing. I had a few quandaries though. I wasn't particularly, 100% sure that this was the right relationship or that we were on the right wavelength. But we had a beautiful experience going into the fairy realm together, experiencing this journey together. He encountered his fairy guides whilst we were in this journey, who I didn't see. And my fairy guide explained that we can't see other people's fairy guides unless they invite us to see them. So, that's totally private and up to them. And also, she took me off away from Tristan. He went off in the other direction, and she explained that we both have separate soul paths, which obviously makes sense. We're all individuals, even if we're in a relationship together. Um, so we had this wonderful experience together. There were other things that I introduced Tristan to, other ways of journeying into the fairy realm, which yeah, I'll talk a bit about now. So there was a cherry tree in his garden, which I called Nana. And Nana was a very gentle, beautiful cherry tree, and fairies are associated with cherry trees. And I chose that as a portal to travel through. There's also a picture on his bedroom wall of this beautiful scene that he loved, that I'd connect with him through as well when we weren't together. So then a year later, lockdown happened here in the UK. Towards the end of March, the approach of the equinox, or just after the spring equinox and Mother's Day here in the UK. And all of a sudden, we were faced with being separated. I went into complete grief, but even before the announcement, I remember that day very well. I went up onto Dartmoor with my children on the Monday. I knew that this announcement was coming. I was looking to Tristan for reassurance that he would keep in contact with me, that even that he'd come and live with me. I didn't know at that time that we wouldn't be able to see each other at all. But I had a feeling. So I spent the afternoon on Dartmoor. I was in floods of tears the whole time with my children. I knew that this would probably be the last time that I could come up to Dartmoor legally for a few months. I knew it was the last time I could see my partner. I was looking to him to come and see me that day, and he was reluctant to. Then the news came on in the evening, and the Prime Minister of England said that that was it. We were in lockdown from then, from 9 o'clock that evening, I think it was. So my worst fears were realised. After going to complete breakdown, distress, trauma about the situation, and I gradually calmed, I realised that I could still connect with the fairy realm, which gave me great peace and joy to connect with through meditation, and B, I could still connect on a soul level with Tristan. And that's something that I wanted to do. So I taught him how to connect with me through the trees, through his cherry tree in the garden, through astral travel, um, through aspects of the landscape. I would focus on aspects on the landscape that were in his vicinity and connect with him that way, kind of remote viewing. And then as time went on, I realized more and more this wasn't the relationship for me. And I realized that actually the core of everything was that I needed to develop self-love for myself rather than putting it externally on a person, which I know is something we all do in relationship. I've done it time and time and time again. And I thought, actually, this is the time for me to focus on loving myself more. And then I'll attract somebody that's in resonance with me and meets me on all levels. When I spoke to Tristan about coming to live with us, that's something he didn't want at all. And as it happened, we drifted apart during that time gradually. And I realized that he was using that time just to gather things in his life, and to gradually gently move away from me. So it's very painful. But through these journeys in the fairy realm, through focusing on my heart and self-love, through this journey in particular, I felt very at peace and soothed when I connected with my true self, love for myself, and the wider picture, all that is and who I am really. We're all spiritual beings living this human experience, and I'm it's about making choices. We have a choice about what that human experience is. So yeah, as I said, it's very powerful, and I hope that this journey you find some comfort as well. In the journey, there is a practice in which you can connect with a beloved. I've included that in the PDF, and I've expanded it to include your I am presence, so your true self, so that you can connect with them and convey love for yourself, as well as that person that's in your life. It might be a partner that you have currently that you want to deepen a connection with, or it might be that you want to attract a new person in your life. So you're calling out to your future partner. It may be somebody that you've lost in the past and you want to reconnect with them and send them love and feel their love coming back to you. So it's really beautiful, very deep and powerful. Um, there's some fairy wisdom in this path working, which is also in the PDF, and an affirmation. So the fairy wisdom is for whatever is not, which means that trans um, which is, oh yeah, matter transformed by consciousness becomes whatever consciousness directs it to be. So it just gives you that power of whatever is in my external world that I can change through my internal world and my belief system, what I say, what I think. It's ongoing practice for all of us. I don't get it right. It's something that has to be, we all have to focus on to do regularly. Um, in your journal, keep track of things that you're grateful. So, like keeping a gratitude journal, even if it's one small thing a day that you're grateful for, like I'm grateful for the roof. I'm grateful for the roof over my house. I'm grateful to have food in my cupboard. I'm grateful for this particular person in my life, whatever it is. And that will build that resonance of gratitude and attracting more of that abundant energy into your life. The other wisdom was that we all have unique path of service on earth, which contributes to increasing the love frequencies of the planet, universe, and all dimensions. And we cannot see another person's fairy guide unless they invite us to meet them whilst we're journeying together. And the affirmation is, by loving myself, I open portals to other dimensions of reality and live and lift their love frequency. So it's once we begin to love ourselves, then that goes out into our own world, to the people around us, and further across all dimensions of reality. Love is the most powerful energy in the universe. So I'll just describe this practice briefly of the I am presence. The practice of calling your I am presence and beloved. Really important with all of these journeys and practices that you gift yourself the time to do them where you won't be disturbed. And it's good with any meditation practice to choose the same place where you can find that peace and quiet, whether it's your bedroom or sitting room or corner of, any sort of quiet corner of your house or your garden if the weather's, sunny enough and warm enough to do that. And then you build this sort of relationship with that space as being the space where you're quiet and peaceful. So you'll arrive at a lake and you'll call your name lovingly across the lake. And then you'll wait for your name to come back to you from the other side of the lake. Some kind of response, a voice will come back to you. Call it again, receive. So it's this calling and receiving. You do that 3 times. 3 is the magical number in fairy and in all magic. Then the next part is that person, that being will call their name to you. This could be the name of somebody, of your beloved from the past, from the present, or someone you haven't met yet from the future. Call their name back to them. So repeat 3 times. They call their name, you call their name back to them. Then you'll hear a tune. So this voice will sing a tune. So listen for any melodies you hear. You could hear it through the ripples of the lake. You could hear it. It could be a tune that you know, or it might be a tune that you don't know. And then you sing this song back to them. And then repeat that another 2 times. So they sing a song to you, you sing it back to them. So this kind of builds a resonance. So you're doing this 9 times in total, this calling backwards and forwards to each other. And this will help you to attune to the universal energy of love. It builds up this resonance with the cosmos, the other realms. It will lift your heart, leave you feeling joyful. The calling out is done internally. However, if you're on your own and you feel drawn to do so, you can call out in reality if you want to. It's up to you. If you feel like, oh, a song coming up, you could sing that. It's quite a moving experience to do this. And then the close is to say goodbye to that other person, that other being. But it's, yeah, as I said, it's all in the PDF that's included with this journey. Then remember to make some notes in your journal because you'll have something to look back on and reflect on when you repeat this again. It will be different every time. Every time you repeat these journeys, it'll be a different experience and it'll move you further along the path of receiving wisdom, understanding about what your path forward is. And hopefully you'll bring some relaxation and joy as well. So namaste, fairy blessings to you and enjoy. I look forward to your feedback in the comments for this video and see you again soon. Lots of love. Bye from me and the fairies.